spending your evening with us tonight at Acer. We very much appreciate it. So we're just going to have a little presentation from Acer, which will talk to you all about the current range that you're seeing here and what ConceptD is all about and why they're so excited about it. So I will bring to the stage Rod Bassey, who's the Oceanic Sales Director, who will be talking through everything ConceptD and Acer.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming, members of the press, customers and friends as well, and members of the Acer team that I see around the place. So we are delighted to be here this evening or late afternoon. What a beautiful evening for Sydney. We even managed to get the smog and fog to disappear for at least for the evening. Tonight we're gathered to talk about ConceptD. So firstly, a little bit of background. Of course, the room here knows about Acer, 43 years globally and closer to home in our shores, 29 years. And the Acer brand in its own right is kicking strong. Approximately 5 odd years ago, through the global phenomenon of gamification across the world, Acer was in the right place at the right time. Riding the crest of the wave with a wonderful brand called Predator, which you can see up there, and it's really grown to be a brand that stands up quite nicely in its own right. And from year to year, it's just grown in strength and grown in weight and success. And what we were looking at on a global level is a deeper curiosity. We wanted a deeper understanding of what was really driving that phenomenal growth. And of course it was gaming, but it has to be more than gaming. There's got to be more than just gamers that are out there using that. So understandably, we commissioned the study in conjunction with our partner Intel. And the results were phenomenal when we pie charted who was actually buying these units and these devices out of necessity. Out of need to carry out their work. We certainly, it opened a lot of eyes for us, and on a global level, we commissioned the commencement of a new journey for Acer, which is ConceptD, another sub-brand. So who's using, who is the target audience and the key candidates for ConceptD? Well, ConceptD stands for the people that develop 3D, 2D, design. It's a wonderful brand that we stand by, and you can see from the products that are here in the flesh how much development has gone into making sure that we framed and designed the products as cutting edge and as well thought of as they possibly could be. And it's quite incredible to have these products here in the flesh, ready for launch, ready for our new calendar financial year 2020, which is around the corner. So you can see the rise of the digital nomad. People are increasingly steering their careers towards development, design, creation, and it starts at a young age these days. It starts at school. It then obviously continues at a tertiary level and then into the workforce. So for us to grab ConceptD, which has its origins in Predator. So we all know Predator and the grunt behind Predator, the performance levels that those machines actually deliver. But one thing about that very successful brand for Acer, it's also deliberately been made to look aggressive in style and design because of the target market that it's going for. And also, particularly when you get a group of those units in a room, perhaps a room of developers, it sounds like the space shuttle taking off. So with the design of ConceptD, apart from the obvious performance that needed to be maintained, certainly aesthetically, from an aesthetics point of view, we had to ensure that the product was as cutting edge and as aesthetically pleasing as possible in order to not only to compete but also to carve new frontiers for Acer. And the one other thing which I personally think is vitally important as well, the level that we've gone into on the acoustics to make sure that in a designing environment they are as whisper quiet as possible. So I believe they're sub 40 dB, and you know that'll hit the mark quite well for us. So from a ranging point of view, it's incredibly exciting to bring these things to market because it is all about range. This is not an afterthought. This is not let's come out with a good, better, best. You can see no less than 9 models in the lineup. And a lot of those models are here in the flesh this evening as well. So we've got depth of range, and we've got the ability with that. We've got the ability with that to cater for the full spectrum of the user base, from 2D design, 3D design, and obviously for the developing side of the equation as well. So it's incredibly exciting. However, this evening I'm not the only one up here speaking, and I figure that one of the best ways to actually show you what we've actually achieved is to actually bring a user up on stage that lives and breathes this product and this style of product on a daily basis. And I'm going to bring the art director up from Eon Marketing, Monica. So she'll really bring this into life for you. Give Monica a hand.
Good evening, everyone. So a bit about myself. I'm the art director at Acer Marketing. My background is in industrial design, so I studied at UNSW, and I've dealt with a lot of different roles in my 9 years in the design industry. So I've done graphic design, I've done purely industrial design, product design, but my main background is in the trades and retail industries. So I'm doing a lot of things which deal with the end user and with a lot of the large global brands in the Asia Pacific region. So with my experience, I've talked about that, graphic design, 3D modeling. I'm on a day-to-day basis, probably about 80% of my work is in 3D design, so 3D modeling. A bit of it is in model making and prototyping as well. So if you walked around the room, you would have seen the 3D printer in the corner, which is sort of my little hobby, not hobby, but also I produce a lot of parts and stuff from that as well. So, yeah. So in my previous experience, I've noticed that research, conceptualization, refinement and production are the main parts of my design process, and through every point of the process, I've had to use some sort of powerful machine to produce what I'm trying to show in my concepts. I'll just talk a little bit about my work. So I've done some sketching, so that's all CAD work. I've also done some UX and UI design as well. So 3D visualization. So a lot of this was produced in 3ds Max, as well as Blender and Cinema 4D, and a lot of and prototyping as well. So this is sort of like all pictures from different parts of the design process. So I'll just show you a video. So all of this stuff, whoops. So all of this was created on the ConceptD 9. So I was lucky enough to, sorry for this technical difficulty. So a lot of what you're going to see in the video, I was able to produce on the ConceptD 9 because I was lucky enough to be one of the first users in Australia to trial it. So this is, I'm just going to explain a little bit. This is style, and this is what we were taught in university, I guess. Trying to keep the dynamic feel of it, and of course block lettering. So this 3D animation that you'll see the process of is, you'll see a video at the end, but it's just something that I created over the last week. But this is all done in Blender. Of course, you have to start with a sketch first. And it's often a very tedious and CPU heavy process. Trying to get all the details correct. But now when you guys go and watch like a 3D animated film, you'll be like, oh my god, how much time did this person spend trying to create a character? And of course, lighting is very important. And of course, using armatures to animate the characters. So obviously, after this has been produced and rendered out in Blender, I will go into After Effects and animate and piece the whole animation together. So this is on After Effects. I'm trying to make sure everything in the layouts are correct. So of course, normally on a normal laptop, I'd hear the fan going out like it's such a loud sound already. But on the D9, it was so quiet, like I didn't even realize the fan was even going off at some points. And this is also just creating a photorealistic rendering. So of course you have to make sure that everything in the product or in the piece that you're trying to render, make it look exactly like you would hold it in your hand. So that's the end piece. Don't forget to grab a toner somewhere, somewhere in the room. And then what we'll show as well is the video of the animation. So just a cute little animation. Very quickly done, so forgive the yeah, just a little animation. So what I'm going to show you now is just some sketching and a little bit of the rendering times and the color display on each of the monitors. So I'm just going to pop back here. So this is this is a sketch that I did earlier. But of course, this is a Wacom tablet monitor, so it's quite responsive. And if anybody's ever used the Wacom tablets,
Are we supposed to be seeing it on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you come to these screens, you should be able to see.
Yeah, if you guys
Everyone
want to
feel
come
free to
in.
move to the front because actually we calibrated the ConceptD9 across 2 different monitors to actually showcase the difference between a normal monitor and a ConceptD9 monitor when it comes to creators creating their assets. So feel free to move to the front, don't be shy.
Minor intermission.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, I'll just show you, since this is up, I'll render out the image just to show you how fast it comes out. So normally on my standard laptop, it would take maybe, I don't know, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. This one should do it within a minute, which is pretty amazing in terms of like what it has and the capabilities of it. But even then, see, it's processing the rendering, but you don't really hear any of the fan going off. So, which is amazing for a studio environment.
Could you point the microphone at the fans?
That's right.
Can't hear anything.
Ahoy!
Keep it going. I think with this one is the standard Acer monitor.
No, the one on the right is.
Yeah, that side. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the ConceptD monitor. So I think they're all Pantone validated and Adobe RGB displays. So they're quite true to color. So because I've worked in print as well, like I know how important that could be. I mean, you can always never rely on a screen. And so actually seeing them quite close to the Pantones when it's printed is pretty amazing. And even on this, like, seeing the color differences, like even on the monitors, they're quite true to what you see on the screen rather than standard one. I mean, this is straight out of the box as well, so it's not been calibrated, like adjusted. The settings haven't been adjusted. Also, if you guys are doing the workshop, the cheese board workshop later, I've got the 3D printer. So if you guys want to come over to this laptop and write down your names, you'll be able to personalize it. So that when it gets sent to you, and then I'll get it printed, and then it'll come with your board. So yeah.
So for those who are joining us at the workshop at level, one level down, feel free to let us know if you want to personalize your name, because Monica herself actually do illustration as well as calligraphy. A lot of the times digital platform is actually what she used to create a lot of her creative artwork. So feel free to let us know if you want to have your initials 3D printed over there. We can actually get it printed for you, and it will be attached as an ornament for your cheese board after you have created the workshop. So over here, what we're trying to showcase is actually the difference between the two monitors when it comes to ConceptD products that's actually launched in the market. What you will find is that a lot of the ConceptD monitor that's actually launched, we have to make sure that it's actually fit for purpose for the creators that's out there in the market. A lot of the times for graphic designer, what they want is to make sure that the printed outcome actually looks look as close to what they see on screen as possible. So one of the key features that we focus on for ConceptD is that all of our monitors are actually calibrated to make sure that it's actually below E-1 or E2. So it actually says that number basically identifies that how close and true to life it is when it's actually printed. For example, 3D animation as well as games, when you guys do see it being created, a lot of the times very vibrant images need to be as close to true life as possible for a lot of the end user that's enjoying the experience on their PC. So the color accuracy is actually part of a very important process for a lot of 3D animators, developers, as well as designers. So all of our products for ConceptD range actually focus on delivering that accuracy in terms of colors. And in terms of how well the product itself delivers in terms of user experience, it will be the sound as well as the design. So majority of the ConceptD design, what you will find will be in black or white tones, simply because on our research we found out that a lot of the user prefer their design to be simplistic as well as classy at the same time. So Mon will be showing a few more other examples in terms of the screen differences on the laptop itself and on the monitors. But feel free to ask her any questions that you may have and just interact with her. She's a very down-to-earth person, and she will also be around the workshop as well as the floor tonight. So feel free to get in touch with her and have a chat with her. Thank you.
Just before we wrap up, I just want to see if anyone had any questions to ask any of the Acer team or Monica about any of the products you've seen tonight. Anyone have any? Oh, yes.
How does the weight
Use your voice or that.
how does the weight sort of affect your use of the D9? Because obviously, you know, moving from say a desktop workstation to something a powerful laptop like that.
So this type of laptop, I mean, I wouldn't take it with me like on like client meetings or that sort of thing. So this type of laptop, I wouldn't exactly carry with me all the time. I mean, it's not the lightest, but it's quite a powerful laptop. I'd be more inclined to the D7s or the D5s, but just that it has the color advantage in the monitors. I mean, there are other brands in the market that have that amazing display, so it's actually a really good advantage to have. Yeah, this one I would have as a more desktop laptop, only because with the Wacom technology, I mean, I wouldn't exactly have a heavy laptop with me and then trying to draw on that as well. But having it straight on, like being able to draw straight onto it, I mean, definitely is a pretty good thing to have.
Any other questions? Yes. Did you have your hand up or just stretching? Just stretching.
So when are all these units on sale?
Oh, that's a very good question. That's one of my favourite questions, actually, being the sales director. These products, we're looking at the very beginning of 2020. So we run a calendar financial year. So pretty much as soon as 2020 commences, the products will be available.
And which stores?
Okay, so we see that there's going to be a variety of different verticals where we can actually place these products. From a consumer availability point of view, they will be available at Harvey Norman and perhaps at other retailers as well. But we also see from the commercial side, working with our commercial partners in developing this particular vertical a lot further, and I think by Acer investing in its own marketing efforts through online and other vehicles, we can definitely lift the profile and also just let the market know that we are here with this type of product. Also, whilst I would also say that with some of the tertiary institutions that we're collaborating with, such as the one across the road, the very progressive University of Technology in Sydney, I think we'll be able to do things there as well.
And will you need to train some of the staff in the Harvey Norman stores, or is this the sort of product where people know what they want and they just want to go and get it?
I think it'll be a combination of the two. To be honest, we do need to invest in training the staff accordingly, and we will do that. We will work with the retail community in doing that. But equally, there's a significant pull from the market already that is, as I mentioned earlier, has been gravitating to gaming machines to get this done. So the fact that we will have these more, accessible solutions, so it'll be a blend of the two.
Also, just want to jump in, the products will also be available online at Acer's online store. We can send you guys links if you haven't seen it before, but that's where it'll also be available.
Yes.
And you had a question in the back?
Yeah, so with the D9, obviously with the touchscreen, is that also going to be inclusive with a stylus or a pen?
Yes, it'll come inclusive with a stylus and pen.
So one of the feature is that you can actually attach the pen magnetically onto the laptop itself. So there's a magnetic function to it. Like, yeah, it just sticks there on the top.
Yeah.
So we'll let the creator showcase how she usually sticks it on the
I'm just
top.
PR.
Maybe it should be the other way around.
No, it's supposed to stick on.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, let me use another one.
There we go.
There we go.
Ta-da!
Lovely.
Yeah, you got that.
No sweat.
She doesn't like when she says she uses it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Any other questions? No, we're all good? Excellent. Well, if you have any other questions, grab someone from Acer or ask any of the archetype team and we'll answer all your questions. We'll also be sending out a press release to everyone, all the media attending and anyone else who wants to see it for you guys to have a further look at. And yeah, obviously if you want to review any of the products, do let us know and we'll make sure you guys get first dibs on it to test out. So after this, we're going to have some more food, but we're also going to head downstairs to level 2 where the workshop will be started for anyone who wanted to join. And you can make your own cheese or design your own cheese board, which will be super fun. Thanks everyone.